Today we're going to Luthorize this character. That's my new word for when someone's intelligence becomes their own worst enemy. Let's start with the obvious. Lex Luthor suffers from what I like to call big brain, bigger ego syndrome. This isn't just normal narcissism, folks. This is the high-end, extra special kind. Hult described Luthor as obsessive, determined, and relentless, with his ego both defining and sabotaging his every action. Notice that key phrase, defining and sabotaging. That's psychology gold right there. You see, Lex operates under what we call a grandiose self-concept. In simple terms, he thinks he's the main character in everyone else's story. But here's where it gets spicy. Superman shows up, and suddenly Lex realizes he's been the side character all along. That's what we call narcissistic injury. Here's where it gets psychological. See what I did there? Lex Luthor, despite being legitimately brilliant, suffers from a twisted form of imposter syndrome, but instead of feeling like a fake, he feels like everyone else is the fake. He imagined himself as a humanist and protector of humanity, and he wants to be idolized and adored for that. So someone else showing up who's just naturally more gifted and able to do that and taking all the limelight is something that definitely irks him. Think about it. Lex worked his entire life to be the smartest guy in the room, the savior of humanity, the golden boy of science. Then Superman flies in, literally, and does everything Lex does, but better, faster, and with better hair. It's like spending years perfecting your homemade pizza recipe only to have Gordon Ramsay show up with a food truck and somehow make pizza that tastes like heaven had a baby with Italy. This creates what I call achievement dysphoria. The psychological distress when your life's work gets overshadowed by someone who makes it look effortless. Now let's get to the big question. Why does Lex want to kill Superman instead of, I don't know, becoming best friends and solving world hunger together? From a psychological standpoint, this is elimination behavior. When you can't control something, you remove it from the equation. It's like being bad at chess, so instead of learning better moves, you just flip the board over. Except Lex's board is reality and his pieces are people's lives. The psychology shows Lex's deep jealousy of Superman and all of his inherent power, especially after everything Luthor believes he's done for Metropolis and the world at large. But here's the kicker noodle. That's my term for when the real reason is hiding behind the obvious reason. Lex doesn't want to kill Superman because Superman is dangerous. He wants to kill Superman because Superman makes him feel small, and Lex would rather commit cosmic-level genocide than go to therapy. The most twisted part, Superman represents everything Lex wishes he could be, but refuses to become. Superman is effortlessly moral. He doesn't have to calculate the right thing to do. He just does it. Meanwhile, Lex is over here with spreadsheets trying to moral math his way to goodness. Superman is loved for who he is. Lex demands love for what he's done. Superman inspires hope. Lex manufactures it in a laboratory. Superman is authentically alien yet more human than most humans. Lex is authentically human yet more alien than most aliens. This is what we call psychological mirroring. Lex sees in Superman everything he can't accept about himself. Here's the psychological gut punch. Lex Luthor could have been the greatest hero in human history. He has the intelligence, resources, and genuine desire to help humanity, but his pathological need to be the hero prevents him from being a hero.